Oh,
Right, we're live. It's recording.
Yeah.
So don't say anything you wouldn't say in front of your mom.
Gotcha.
No curse words.
So what's up, guys?
Not much.
How you doing?
How's it going, Popko?
I'm here with the guys from Modern Ties. Thanks for joining me today. Big day for you guys.
Yeah.
Another new song. That's cool.
Yeah. We just found out that – did you see that email, Popko?
Which one?
Ferg is playing it today at 420.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
You know what, Ferg? I'll tell you what. He's always stealing your songs and playing them first.
I mean, we certainly appreciate it.
Of course.
Yours to a Friday afternoon slot instead of Sunday night.
The blazing new track at 420.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Why do they
What's
call
wrong
it
with the Saturday night slot? Time
they
doesn't
call-
matter anymore.
Yeah, true. Friday.
My listenership
It has
is
to do
like
with the
grown.
sun in the sky.
Well, now that we're not playing, which is kind of unfortunate, I do tune into your show every week, Popko, because most of the time it butts up on a Saturday against us playing somewhere, which is, I mean, unfortunate, of course, but
Of course.
yeah.
So my listenership
Am I
has
not
increased.
playing? We have a show tonight. Good Friday. Hail Mary.
Whistles, Scranton,
It's a
Murray's Inn, Wilkes-Barre. But thanks for doing this. I just want to kind of touch base with you guys in this new world we're living in now, and just talk to you guys about 2020. And George, I know we were talking. I guess it was early March.
Yep.
And you guys had some pretty big plans for this year that unfortunately kind of got derailed.
Yeah, we spent like the 3 months. Well, I guess, guys, was it like starting in January? Did we start like showcasing?
February.
So we were in Denver for a big college showcase in Denver. We were in Orlando for a large college showcase in Orlando. We did a smaller one in Hershey. We had really good results from that. Unfortunately, a lot of those gigs have been postponed that we got from those. So that's been hitting us kind of hard. But the biggest one was when we were in Orlando. We're sitting in the hot tub at the hotel we were staying at, and we found out that earlier, like 2 days prior to us sitting in this hot tub, we found out that we were going to be showcasing at South by Southwest. And literally 2 days later, while we were sitting in the same hot tub, we found out that showcase was canceled. And it was going to be obviously a really good opportunity for us.
What he's not telling you is that we actually didn't stay at the hotel. We just slept in the hot tub.
And it was a quick turnaround. And, I think for the most part, we stayed like pretty positive because, I mean, what are you going to being super negative about the situation isn't going to help a whole bunch. So it's been like trying to find a lot of little positives. Like the past, I think like 2 or 3 weeks, we've had over like 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which has been holding pretty tight. Obviously we released Blue on Friday. This is coming out tomorrow. So yeah, so today, Friday.
We should have all worn blue.
It's all the same.
Messed up.
I remembered. I didn't do that on purpose though. So yeah, unfortunately there were a lot of stuff that it just, obviously not working out with the plan. And we're certainly not the only band that it's affecting or business that it's affecting really. But yeah, frustrating, very frustrating. Hopefully it is over sooner rather than later. And we can get back to playing some shows.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too, like, having the opportunity to be at South by Southwest. It's not like, if things resume next year and whatever, that you're the first person they call again, just say, hey,
Right.
you were on it last year. Sorry, but we're going to make it up for it. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah. That's probably the most frustrating part of it.
Yeah,
just that,
I don't
There's
think
no
people
guarantee on any of these opportunities coming back when this is all over.
Right.
So it's, we just make the best of it. And then we kind of have to take a step back and try again and start from square one as soon as gigging starts again.
Right.
Which we certainly know how to do, but just a little disheartening.
Yeah.
outside of releasing new music, what seems to be every month now, you guys just did your fourth one, so it has been every month now with the release of Blue. What have you guys been doing creatively to keep busy? I guess Jesse, if you want to start off with that answer.
Creatively, I mean, Aaron and I live together, which is nice. So we've been able to like work on some new music a little bit. I mean, the thought of like actually setting up recording that and going through that whole process all over again is a little daunting. But we've had a lot of time, to like spend time with our instruments and our computers, which has been nice. We did a live stream. What was that, last Tuesday?
A week and a half ago.
Yeah, like a week and a half ago. Wow, that was a week and a half
So
ago.
long.
I feel like it was an eternity.
I've played
Yeah.
a lot of Animal Crossing since then.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, when you can't like leave the house. Like, I mean, I think George is really the only one leaving the house on a regular basis. It's hard to like motivate yourself. I've been trying to like listening to new music more and spend more time discovering new artists and looking for inspiration kind of any way that we can.
Cool. Steve, what about you?
Kind of what Jesse said. I mean, I don't live with them, so like I don't have. See, with me, I do really well with like a check and balance system, and right now I don't have that, so I'm kind of like left to my own devices. So this one day I got down like a hole where I made this like EDM thing, and it was weird, but it felt right at the moment. And but like, there's a whole subset of people who are still like needing to do things. So like actors are still sending in audition tapes, which they need accompaniment for. A lot of like theatrical productions like the Scranton Shakespeare Festival, like they're doing something new, and that's going to require more music direction or more music composition than ever before. So like there are ways in which like the arts are flourishing a little bit, and it's like kind of exciting to do something different, but it never beats like being able to get together, the four of us, and like put together a new album, as daunting as that is, as Jesse said. I mean, like I still miss it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Aaron, what about you?
Got a job at Target.
Are you essential then?
What?
Are you essential?
Allegedly.
You've always been essential, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm always essential. I don't know. I go stir crazy like I went too long. So,
Yeah.
And the opportunity popped up. But yeah, I'm doing that occasionally, running a lot more because like all the gyms are closed. I've got a lot of like nature walks. Probably more in the last 2 weeks than I've done in 2 years. So
Yeah. I left my house for the first time after 3 weeks to go to Francis Slocum with the family.
Oh.
It was nice. I think I'll do more of that even when this is over, but it was nice to get out of the house and throw stones in the water with my son.
I was at the Dunn Reservoir the other day doing that.
Yeah.
Bouncing around.
It's kind of funny timing. This new song Blue comes out, and it kind of dances around, ideas of depression and isolation. And I feel like a lot of your songs recently have really had topics that really relate to everyday people in their everyday lives.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I like that.
Well, yeah, you had Blue, which was, it's if you want to elaborate on that, you can, but, Poor Connection, which is about, relationships in a digital world. And now here we are on a computer talking to you guys. It's even more enhanced than ever before.
luckily we have good internet.
Good connection. Damn. You should have said good connection.
I guess that would have worked better.
Brought me the drink at 2 in the afternoon.
I mean, are these songs that you have, put together this year? I mean, is that on purpose, or is that just something you're going through, or are you?
They're
just
all
trying to-
sad.
They're all sad.
We're all sad people.
They're all sad. Yeah. I think like first of all, obviously we couldn't have predicted the pandemic situation that we're in. It just so happens the last two releases kind of timed up somewhat. I think we're more topical, like, because Poor Connection kind of came out as all this was starting, and and it was like, people were commenting on like the Facebook posts, like, oh, I had a Poor Connection today. I had a bad, like, so it was like clearly very topical. And Blue, I actually thought about this last night, because it is about being alone, and I think Aaron could probably speak a little bit more like about it, but I was thinking last night, I was like, man, like, I hope people aren't too sad to listen to this song about being sad. It's like, all of the other ones are kind of like upbeat, like, Poor Connection is like kind of a sad song because it's about like this relationship that's not going well because you can't connect via the internet. But it's upbeat, and it's like, it has all these 80s references, and it's like, you can't help kind of like bobbing your head. Like, I feel like you listen to Blue and you're just like, man, this is about someone who's really, really sad and like feels very alone, and we all kind of feel that way now. So it's like, it kind of hit the nail on the head.
Then the trap beat comes in.
Yeah, the
Well,
hi-hat.
actually isn't that sad.
It's not that sad. It's uplifting.
No, I was saying,
I don't know.
Maybe we did predict this because we did the digital stuff. Now it's sad. Next one's downtown, so maybe it'll be.
We're running away from downtown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
How about it?
And then we'll
I
all
guess no one's gonna understand that joke for another like month and a half.
Yeah.
About a month.
Yeah, I guess a month. But
Month.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like the whole album was in a way about, like, it was very personal, I think. I don't know if anybody, I feel like we all kind of feel that way, but you're right. Like, all of the songs are very, like, real. Like, they're about, like, real experiences or, like, real feelings that I feel like we've all had in the last year.
Yeah, I mean, like, whoever brought each song to the table was like, this is the general feeling that, I'm feeling with this song. And then the other three people would be like, okay, let me put myself in that mindset. And maybe it was right on the spot, or maybe it was a week later, but then they'd come back with a lyric that related to that emotion for them. And that's what kind of like, in the past, like, a lot of the songs, because I wrote a lot of the lyrics like before this album, or like before the last one. Well, no, Modern Ties. I've written songs before, and it was like kind of all over the place because, it wasn't, as I said before, like the checks and balances, like we didn't have everyone kind of firing on all cylinders in the past as much as we did with this one.
Right.
And I think it like rounded out, each song has its own emotion and personality. And while there are similar themes to a couple of the songs, it's like each one is unique.
Steven, the second really Supernatural you were kind of painted as a crazy person by the guys in Ionic Development.
They didn't have to paint that hard.
They got a lot of encouragement from the actor portraying the crazy
Is
person.
that the room it was filmed in?
Is it?
What?
That's crazy.
How about that?
That's funny.
The TV wasn't there.
And that girl,
quarantine
she's an
room.
actress, right?
Yes, she's originally from Dunmore, but she's based in New York now. Natalie Marie Walsh. We actually did plays together in high school.
So that didn't suck.
No.
No.
She was great.
Except she's not real, so that sucked.
Not real.
Yeah.
But her likeness may be portrayed in an upcoming music video.
Okay.
Perhaps.
I really enjoyed all your reactions after, at the end of that video when you guys are like, what are you doing? Like,
I acted my heart out, Popko.
you did a great job. You deserve an Emmy.
Thank you.
Is it
Best
Emmy?
pyro playing on camera ever.
Jesse's cameo in the restaurant scene, I laugh every single time. that comes up because it's so. And I honestly, I wish that there were more cameras to film the actual process of it, because that was the most fun that I've had in a very long time doing like video stuff. Because normally it's like kind of awkward because you don't really know, like most of the time when you're filming something, like you're asked to be an actor and it's like I have zero acting experience, but that whole process was like unbelievably fun. It was really cool.
Yeah, I could be on Saturday Night Live, dude.
Hey, I have a list of things that I think I could do professionally, and stand-up comedian is one of them.
All right.
So maybe one night we'll try an open mic. Like I'll go on Instagram Live and see if anybody will tune in.
I will heckle the hell out of you.
I can only imagine.
Are there any big plans with those guys from Ionic Development? I know you guys kind of have them as your go-to media or production company almost.
Yes.
Yes, there are plans.
Big plans.
They were a little different a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's more videos that we're trying to do. I mean, we live in a world where people have short attention spans, and you need to put out a lot of content to, keep them. So yeah, we have a couple videos coming out. There was going to be one for Blue, but that one got put on hold because shooting is kind of impossible right now. But we'll figure something out. If it has to be like later or something, we have ideas. It's just a matter of executing those ideas at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistical problems.
Yeah, but there's intent. Yeah, for sure.
The thought that counts.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And I know that you are releasing an album this year. Is that still the plan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
when?
No.
No.
Well, it's gonna be tentatively June or July. We're trying to figure some of that stuff out right now. The original plan, I think, was June, and we're trying to work through some details right now of just trying to figure out, like, should we wait a little bit, or when's the right time, like when's the peak time, for lack of a better term, to kind of release music. And yeah, no, the album is coming. To everybody who donated to the Kickstarter, the perks are coming, we promise. We unfortunately, we were getting our list together of the things that people needed right before this all came in. And obviously when your income source goes to zero, you have to kind of stop yourself from expending too much. So we're just waiting on, obviously, things to kind of start back up, but people get their copies of everything that they had ahead of time, hopefully before it goes like live to the public and everything like that. But I think most people who have donated have probably heard a good portion of the album, right, guys? Like, I feel like they've participated in like different things to like hear it, or we're at like the listening party or something like that.
And we've sent quite a few people.
Yeah.
Just to
So
on hold.
yeah, I mean that's been the hardest part, I think, for us, is like we've even been very careful about getting together as like a group. Like even when we did the live stream with Ionic, because they were there, everybody was 6 feet apart. We like disinfected all the mics, all the cables, all the stands and everything.
All the beers.
Yeah. But no, we're trying. We're doing our best. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard just because like you don't know. Like I guess at first we weren't really worried about getting sick, and it was only for older people. But if you look at statistics, it's like 40% of the hospitalized cases are between 25 and 44.
Yeah,
it's like
it was like 49. It was 25 and 49. It was the biggest demographic.
Was that it?
It was something like that, and I was like, why can't you break that up?
right.
Yeah,
Come on.
Not great.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, but still, I mean, like George, like you have asthma. I just ordered a new inhaler. Like I get 8 upper respiratory infections a year. Like it affects everyone.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Long story short, we are putting out an album.
Yeah, sorry.
He said that.
I led with that.
George, you'd be a very good press secretary.
Yeah, I'm a talker. I'm a talker. I like to lead my way in and out of things.
Oh man, this is just it's a scary situation. You know, it's not like a tornado came through and took down buildings in Wilkes-Barre. And it's so isolated. This is a worldwide thing. It's crazy to think about, and from an economic standpoint too, it goes so deep into people's lives. It goes outside of
Yeah.
just concerts and things like that. It's just crazy how impactful this has been.
Yeah.
It's the travel industry in general. I mean, like it goes down. I have to hire a girl to come and give my cat insulin shots when I go away because he's diabetic. And if I don't travel, she doesn't have work. It goes down that far. I don't think people understand how deep this goes sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, when you make a living on getting groups of people together, and the larger the group, the better, in a situation where nobody's allowed to be within 6 feet of another person. Yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of talks about when we're going to play next, and honestly, we have no idea when.
No idea.
Yeah, the ban to leave your house may be lifted within a month, but who knows if that means people are going to be rushing to be crowded into a bar or a venue anytime shortly after that.
I'm definitely going to go to a bar.
I saw a report yesterday saying that the guy, it's Dr. Fauci, or however you say it, recommended never shaking hands again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Say goodbye to shaking hands.
That's going to be so weird.
What's the new move going to be, Popko?
Curtsy.
Yeah.
Butt bumps.
Yeah. We'll
to you as well, Miss Corning.
send request, had it down. The whole
Curtsy culture is going to come back strong.
Yeah, it's just so.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a pervasive thing, like you were saying. Like I think about that a lot. Like people don't realize how many people like it really, really affects. And unfortunately, we weren't really. Obviously, we had no idea how serious this was becoming. I don't think anybody really had a grasp on it, but yeah, it's hard to sit down and make plans and be like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to try to do this. We're going to get this aligned and do this. Like we were talking just before this, and we've been trying to work on music and different things, and we're like, when's even the next time someone's going to let us into a studio to like record? Like when is that going to be like okay? And luckily, like in that type of situation, it's not like you're trying to get 100 people together into a room for a show or something. It's just like 5 or 6 guys in a room that we could easily spread out and be safe. But no, I can't say that, Steve. But just trying to get like Jesse said, like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, like even in that regard, like how soon can we even get into a studio if we wanted to? Because you see online all the time, and it's like people are like, oh, there's gonna be so much great music to come out of this, like I'm so excited. And like, yeah, you're probably right, but like unless you're like Billie Eilish's brother Phineas and have a perfect studio set up in your house, it's like we don't have the gear to record our next album on our own. Like, yeah, we can do all the demos and they'll sound pretty good, but like nothing like we just recorded. And so that's hard for me when you're trying to like plan out like, okay, what's the next step? What could we be ready to do? It's like, I have no idea. I can't even put like a point to look forward to, which is tough.
Yeah, I guess that leads me to my last question. Have you guys discussed internally, like, or do you guys have thoughts on how this is going to change the way fans and performers, release music, play shows? Because I'm seeing stuff online where people are doing, we get to pay to get into these live streams, and there's no travel expenses. There's no, production costs. They're collecting the money, and they're playing inside the living room. Why do you think this is gonna
I
change?
feel like the live thing is gonna stick after this is all over. Because I think people are realizing how easy it is to like bring forward engaging content. I mean, there's some really entertaining artists who are like just putting like the camera on in their living room, like you said. Even local artists like are doing it almost daily. I feel like that'll definitely still stick around.
I see Ben from Death Cab for Cutie has been going live every day. I think he just recorded a new song. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
neat. I just wonder how it's going to change things moving forward. I mean, me personally, I mean, I'll never get tired of going to shows, but I mean,
Oh man.
Yeah.
like anything else, people, and they had to go out and buy music. Now with the internet, they don't have to go out and buy it. It's at their fingertips. And, is that going to change with, bands doing stuff online? And
Yeah.
I don't know.
We had an interesting conversation with somebody who told us recently, like, because you would think, right, everybody being inside, like Spotify listenership streams would be like way up, and he said there's actually been like a 10 to 13% decline in streaming because, like, one peak times when people would stream would be commuting,
Right.
or while they're at work or something like that. And he said the other thing was, or, just something that I thought about after we had that conversation was so many people are putting, like TikToks out or going live on Instagram or on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And it's like, people, while they also have short attention spans in general, like, I'm a huge Beatles fan. And if Paul McCartney went live right now, I would, go listen to Paul McCartney, but I'm not going to go watch Paul McCartney play a 30-minute live stream and then go stream his entire library. I'm going to watch and be like, oh, that was really cool. And then move on to whatever I'm doing next. So I don't know. I agree with Jesse and Aaron that I think more people are going to stay online. I don't think it'll ever replace the live show. But I was thinking about like football the other day because my family has Eagles season tickets, and you had to pay for them, obviously. And my dad was like, "Would you feel comfortable going to a stadium with 70,000 people in August?" And I was like, "Not if there's like a question of like, can I get a respiratory disease that could kill me, my family, or any of my friends? Like that just seems kind of moronic to think that people would want to risk, it's just a difficult thing to predict. But I mean, I do think that there will be at some point a return to normalcy in terms of how people live their lives. And I think this whole pandemic thing will affect like it may not be the same normal, but I think it'll be like a new normal. Yeah. Like, like the handshake thing is a good example. Like maybe we can't shake hands anymore. Like I have no idea. And that's the other thing is that like this whole process, like we have absolutely no idea. And there's so much stuff online right now that's like you can't verify hardly any of it because it's coming from, God knows where. So it's like I'm just doing my best as like a planner and someone like the guys will tell you like I get nervous about planning things all the time. And it's like as someone who does that, like I'm just trying to listen to the scientists and like, yeah, it's going to take a while. Okay, well, I believe what Fauci says. I believe what Burke says, we have to do our part to hopefully slow this down. But once again, I got off topic.
You're never off topic.
Press secretary.
I don't know. What do you think, Steve? What do you like?
What was the question again?
Like touring or live shows or whatever.
Permanent change. And I mean, I think a lot of people are doing it because their hands are forced right now. But yeah, I mean, we're going to go live. Everyone's going to go live at some point. But again, it's not going to replace a live show.
Right.
But yeah, and I mean, there's also going to be like whenever this is over in whatever capacity it's over, there's going to be a surge of social movement. Like we want to go out, we want to go do things, we want to support all these artists that we've only used to support by going out to see. We only were able to do that. So I don't know. I think we're going to see an uptick in definitely the online stuff, but I don't think anything else is going anywhere.
Gotcha.
At least for a while.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very.
On a positive note, I got a notification that says a wild realignment proposal is on the table to bring baseball back during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Did you hear about this?
I
I
do.
just said-
Doming Arizona, like a whole section of fields in Arizona. They're going to have players sit in the stands and not the dugouts.
That's so.
An automated strike zone so the umpire doesn't have to be like right up the catcher's butt.
So here's what's scary too. So
I love it.
I mean, at that point, they've been talking about, replacing umpires for a long time. Does this make that happen and then be like, hey, we don't need you anymore?
Eventually, probably yes.
Yeah.
The death of the umpire.
There's no room for error.
A COVID-19 story.
30 for 30,
Well,
narrated by Jesse Moorman.
Yeah.
well, Popko, you're a big UFC fan, right?
Yeah.
And a
And-
big Red Sox fan.
Yeah, I'm a Sox fan. But what do you think about the UFC having to cancel that fight after he came out and said he was going to buy I can't think of his name right now. I'm totally blanking on it.
Dana White.
Yeah, Dana White. He was like, I'm going to buy an island. This fight's happening no matter what. He did like a whole press tour, and then like yesterday he was like, nah, it's canceled.
I mean, in my mind, I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't either. I read a quote today from Chip Kelly, who's coaching at UCLA, and somebody asked him, because they're still doing like press as if like college football and everything, like everything's going full bore. And they were like, what do you think about playing on Saturdays with nobody in the stands? And he was like, if it's not safe for fans to be there, why would it be okay to put 18 to 22-year-olds on a football field and be like, yep, go play? Like he was like, that's like just such an asinine comment. And I don't know, like I have a hard time imagining things just like immediately. Like I feel like people think that, Tom Wolf is going to come out on May 1st and be like, quarantine's over, you guys, everybody can go back outside. It's like, it's not going to be like that. Like, it's not going to just like that. All that's going to do is that we flatten the curve, and then the curve is just going to immediately spike back up because everybody's going right back out into like crowds, So I don't know. I just like, I feel like people think that it's just going to be over and we're just going to go back. And like, I don't think that it's going to happen like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a serious situation because, people who own casinos and baseball teams and, the heads of MLB and things like that, they don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, let's lose billions of dollars today. Like, let's shut it down for fun. Like, this is definitely serious.
Yeah, I agree.
But
It's brutal.
hopefully it's over sooner than later. I can't wait to see you guys in person.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe we'll avoid the handshakes. Maybe we'll just go right for the hugs.
Yeah, that'll be
Really
that'll
want
be
to
it.
hug people. That is
Or we'll
what
just breathe each other's air.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if you go this way and I'm this way, we won't.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think.
our necks will be 6 feet apart.
Exactly. 6 foot next. But congrats on the new song. I'm looking forward to playing it at 9 o'clock on Alt Natives on Alt 92.1. And if somebody is interested, I started doing like Instagram Live things like an hour before the show to kind of just interact more. I just need one person, so we can talk about that after the fact, or if you want to choose someone now. It's really simple. I can explain it to you how to do it.
You should pick a name out of a hat, Popko.
Flip coin.
There's no names in there.
No names in there.
We'll figure it out when we're
Loading
done.
his hat up before the video.
But yeah, if someone's available at 8 o'clock, I would love to kind of just chat, and it's a good way to interact with people.
Yeah.
Online again.
We'll be around.
I'm got nothing going on.
Each of us can have 15 minutes.
I'm doing my show from my house now, which has been wild.
You said the first week you were like, oh, it sounds so much different. The sound quality is so much different. I didn't think it was that different at all.
When I heard it back, I thought, I was like, wow, that's
Oh, see, I didn't think it was that bad.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
When I heard it after the fact, I was like, wow, that actually didn't sound completely horrible.
Oh, gotcha. No, that sounded good.
So yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out with me, hanging out.
Anytime, bro.
Stay safe. Cover
You
your
too,
face.
buddy.
Wash your hands. I feel like you're a dad.
You are a dad.
You are a dad. You could be our band dad if you want.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
Yeah, Steven's a wild card drinking at 2:00. I don't know if I can handle that.
It is a Friday, at least.
It is Friday.
At least.
I haven't had a drink since like, yeah.
I've actually started drinking more by default, I guess.
Good for you.
Kid
What
goes
else
to
do
bed
you
and
do?
I get after it. I should have had one today, but
I started running. Like I think Aaron mentioned this. I started running. I hate running.
who likes to run? Maybe Aaron does.
I still hate it, but I used to like it.
Yeah. So I started running, and I was texting Jesse yesterday, and I was like, yeah, like I really look forward to my daily runs. And he was like, you serious? I was like, I think it's just to get outside. Like I don't think it's actually for. I don't enjoy running.
Don't
Just
worry.
Daily runs.
You could go outside and not run.
True.
No, but I feel accomplished when I'm done. So I like it when I'm done, but I don't like the ad. Okay.
That's everything in my life. Is like thought of doing it is so like defeating. Then once I do it, it's like holy shit, that's awesome.
I feel great. Yeah.
Like I've managed to I have like workout mats and kettlebells down here in my basement.
Whoa.
Kettlebells were upstairs for the longest time. So I'm getting closer to taking charge of my health and my life, but still.
Popko's going to come out of this looking like a UFC fighter himself, just ripped up.
Well, I've already squandered 3 weeks. Like,
You got to start now.
What am I
Start
doing?
after this phone call.
You got 3 more, man. Don't worry. We're not
At
going
least,
anywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but make sure you put that on Instagram Live too, because almost everybody I know is all of a sudden like a fitness guru, and they'll give you an at-home workout. If you scroll through your Instagram feed long enough, I'm sure you could find a couple good at-home workouts.
I'm sure I could. You're right.
I can give you some like 12-ounce curls. Like,
Hey.
Body weight squats.
That's all you need.
Just use your kid as a weight.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, like those Instagram calling their dogs and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that today. My dog's too heavy for that.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. I look forward to playing your song and talking to you guys in the future.
Sounds good.
thanks,
John.
Popko.
Thanks, Popko.
We love your beard.